Okay, guys, here we go. It's done. The Supreme Court made a decision, temporary relieving restrictions from the administration to push forward on their immigration policies. They're hitting, hoping to hit LA hard. What's going on? What's your opinion? What you think? We'd like to hear from your view. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be some turn. LA is about to be turned up, and not just the LA. It's going to be all the other sanctuary cities across the United States. It's going to be turned up. They're going into Chicago hard. They're going to hit Boston hard. It's amazing what's going to happen. What is your opinion? Leave a comment, like, subscribe before down below. Let me know what you think. Without further ado, we're going to go into this video and see what's happening with this decision. And Mayor Bass has something to say as well. Let's find out what's happening with this decision.
Handing down that 6-3 ruling that clears the way for the Trump administration to restart sweeping ICE raids across Los Angeles. Paul Perez is here now to react. National Border Patrol Council President. Paul, your reaction first to this ruling.
Yeah, this is great for our agents, but it's even better for the citizens of California and our country because it's going to move the impediment of us allowing to go after these criminals that are all over the country. And so it's really great news. Our agents are very well trained. They undergo a very rigorous academy that's both mentally and physically demanding, where we study constitutional law, immigration law, and criminal law. And so they know exactly what they're doing. This only is going to help us do the job a lot better.
And Paul, DHS reacting to this ruling, they say in part, quote, "This is a win for the safety of Californians and the rule of law. DHS law enforcement will not be slowed down and will continue to arrest and remove the murderers, rapists, gang members, and other criminal illegal aliens that Karen Bass continues to give safe harbor." Paul, what this ruling is essentially going to do is allow Border Patrol, your men and women, to use location, job type, physical appearance, Spanish speaking as some of the factors when making arrests. Why are those factors important to use?
Those are all considered articulable facts. You know, all our agents and officers are trained on how to testify to everything that we do. We understand that all the actions that we take may wind up having us sit in front of a judge and because every defendant has the right to.
Okay, guys, I had to pause on that because we need to find out what's going on. Do you see how this is so disrespectful with the going up to the ICE face and putting your camera up in their face, and no other human being want nobody put no camera up in their face. The same people doing it. Would you like to put somebody put a camera in your face like that and with that behavior? It's very disrespectful. It's very ingenuous. You know, if it wasn't for the fact these people are not arresting nobody at that time. These ICE agents are not arresting nobody, but you're putting a camera all up in their face. That's offensive. And but since they got the uniform on, their federal workers, you doing that behavior. You're making people uncomfortable. They're making people nervous, and that's not fair to the people in uniform. I don't know either one. But I'm saying, what's your opinion? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. But this is getting crazy. It's gonna get crazier.
Counsel, and most of these attorneys are going to try to suppress evidence or suppress the stop. And in this case, it allows us to use those articulable facts to establish the reasonable suspicion or the probable cause to effect an arrest. So we know what we're doing. This only allows us to do it, and it takes into account all of those factors that you mentioned.
Paul, what does this ruling mean for ICE sweeps in other American cities like Chicago?
It's great because, again, it allows us to do exactly what President Trump said he was going to do, which is remove these criminals. We know they're operating. I mean, there's millions across the country, so it's not going to be only in Chicago. Anywhere we decide to go, we're going to be successful because of the amount of illegal immigrants that were allowed into this country under the 4 years of the Biden administration. So it's going to be good for us to be able to go out there and use this ruling to apprehend more people that should not be in the country.
And Paul, you might remember back in August, LA Mayor Karen Bass took a little bit of a victory lap when that lower court first blocked what ICE and Border Patrol were doing out here. Here's what she said at the time, quote, "Los Angeles stood strong and we won. You can't just snatch people off the streets based on appearance. The court knows that, the people know that, and now this administration knows that." Well, the Supreme Court has now ruled against Los Angeles, at least for now, while the underlying merits of the case play out. But That's been the criticism, Paul, is that Border Patrol is just going out there and just snatching anybody who looks Latino to them out here in Southern California. What has really been happening?
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. The fear mongering and the rhetoric, the false rhetoric. So our agents are they're enforcing immigration law as it is on the books. These are targeted enforcement actions. We use a number of factors to determine where we're going to go and who we're going to go after. And many of these people, they run as soon as our agents and officers get there. So that as well is an articulable fact that can be used for reasonable suspicion. And we can go after them, we can chase them down, and then our investigation begins to determine whether this person's legally or illegally in the country, and then we take them into custody based on the answers that they give. So Karen Bass and those other Democrats that are demonizing our agents, they need to stop, because it makes it a lot more dangerous for our agents to do the job that they were trained and swore to do.
All right, Paul Perez, thanks so much for joining us on the Breaking News. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm with this Paul guy. That's not fair. You're making it dangerous. You're getting in the way of these uniform officers doing what they were sent out to do. They have subpoenas, warrants. They have all kind of things that establish while they're there. If not, they're established to be in that area, and the police department, they know where they at. And if they lie and say they don't, then that's a lie. They don't have to tell citizens what they're going to do when they're trying to remove people from the streets. That's not don't supposed to be here. So this is all where people playing these type of games, these silliness, and it's putting people's lives in danger. And I don't think it's fair to ICE in uniform and to the citizens, because they're being manipulated too. What is your opinion? Leave a message below. Let me know. Like, subscribe. I don't know.
As far as the dissenters, this is Kagan and Jackson. They wrote on the majority's move, quote, "We should not have to live in a country where the government can seize anyone who looks Latino, speaks Spanish, to your point, Bill, and appears to work a low-wage job rather than stand idly by while our constitutional freedoms are lost. I dissent." That is what we have heard from those who oppose these sweeps, these ICE raids. But the Los Angeles area, Bill, you know this better than anybody. I mean, when you look at the numbers that the administration looking at there, home to nearly 20 million people. The administration is estimating that about 2 million of the residents in Los Angeles are in the country illegally, and that's why it's been a top enforcement priority, Los Angeles.
Yeah, and I was reading Judge Kavanaugh's opinion for the majority, and he specifically identified that number. He said, look, there's about 2 million estimated illegal immigrants in the Los Angeles area. DHS has to enforce the laws on the books passed by.
See, all that rhetoric is coming from the other side of, and both sides actually. This one is dealing with, look how many people in this country, they don't supposed to be here. You think that's going to affect the economy, jobs, everything, wages, the cost of living, less places to live, homelessness? You think this doesn't cause none of this? Yes, definitely does. We have to get a hold of this, and that's what this administration is trying to do: get a hold of this, get in front of it, and it's moving in the right direction. And people, administrations, state administrations, county administrations, city administrations, federal administrations, have their agendas. This federal administration agenda is to clean up America. That's the mandate that the voters gave, the American voters gave this president, and he's behind it. Now, the other levels of agendas, what are the agendas? Protecting illegal people here and calling the community. No, you guys quit that rhetoric. It's not community. It's a community of people that don't supposed to be here. What about that? But you don't define. You're putting everyone together. You're putting everybody at risk that are citizens, and you put them in a situation. Then they complain when they get caught up in the situation when they should be told, do not get involved with these agencies, federal agencies that's cleaning up people that don't supposed to be in this country at all. But they still get involved, and then they get in situations they shouldn't be because of other propaganda and other rhetoric that's given from different points of views. That's not in line with the law and order. So I just want, what's your opinion? Leave a message down. Let me know what you think. But I think this is going to be a problem, and with the high mandate that's given by the administration and the performance of everybody that's out there in LA. So we're gonna see it's gonna get turned up, and I just don't want people to get caught up in a situation they shouldn't be involved in. So nevertheless, let's go finish the rest of this news clip.
A bipartisan Congress, and this judge's order was limiting what they could do. But Sandra, it'll be interesting to see what happens now, because it's been pretty quiet out here in LA since July, since that court order came down. We didn't see nearly the amount of sweeps we were seeing back in the month of June. Now that this order has been lifted, at least for now, it'll be interesting to see how quickly Border Patrol comes back. I already got a text from one agent who said, fire up the engines, we're coming back.
Yeah,
so, yeah, you know, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
That could change, and that could change soon, for sure, Bill.
Yep.
All right.
I'm Steve Ducey. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart.
All right, guys, that was that. What do you think? Leave a message down below. Let me know what you think. I want to hear from you.